Hey everyone, and welcome to the Cloud Gaming Extreme channel. Far Cry 5 is currently free to play this weekend across Ubisoft and Stadia, so we thought we'd have a look at how the game compares on GeForce Now, Stadia and Amazon Luna. Now if you do want to pick up this game, it is £20 one off. If you do want to pick up this game, you can get it on Ubisoft Plus on Stadia, Luna and GeForce Now, or if you do want to buy it, it is $10 on Epic, $8 on Steam or Ubisoft, or $20 on Stadia. On the speed test here then, Stadia is still the fastest there at 133, with GeForce Now being the slowest at 143 pretty much, and Luna in the middle at 139 there. So not much in it between them, but Stadia still the speed king. As we look at the first cutscene here with a bit across each, we see a slight variation in the colour on Stadia, Luna and GeForce Now, with Stadia's HDR with Pro here looking a little bit more vibrant. However, there is something a bit odd about the cutscenes which I want to show here. You'll see that GeForce Now starts ahead, but the Stadia and Luna versions catch up and surpass the GeForce Now version in the cutscenes. So either GeForce Now is just running slightly slower through the cutscenes, or Stadia and Luna have been sped up, maybe to increase frame rates, but it is consistent that GeForce Now seems to play through those cutscenes at a slightly slower pace. There's no lag, it just seems to be a different pace. As we come into some of the actual gameplay here, we'll see that HDR massively giving a difference on the Stadia side. Coloration, we'll leave it up to you whether you think it's better or worse. It does seem more natural on the GeForce Now and Luna sides as we're looking around here. But quality wise, it's really hard to tell with side by side, so let's have a look at full screen here, starting with GeForce Now. For some reason my Ubisoft FPS counter would not show for Far Cry 5, however it definitely wasn't 60 frames per second all of the time, but it is definitely higher than 30. As we saw with that explosion there, the effects are absolutely stunning. This was pushing the ultra settings at 1080p. You see with the effects from the fires there, it does look absolutely stunning. As we're moving around, we do see that frames drop a little bit, so we're not getting that 60 frames per second all of the time. As we look at the quality of the characters there and moving around, it's more than good enough. As we move over to Stadia, straight away we can see those frames per second are capped at 30 frames per second, which is a big shame here. However, the quality is still looking extremely good. You wait for one of the explosions in line with the others here. The character models are looking slightly blurrier than on the GeForce Now side, and as we see the explosion there, it's definitely not as detailed as the GeForce Now version, but still looks pretty good. As we look up close at the character model, we see that HDR really coming into play with the lights in the light and dark areas, but the quality still seems on point here. As we go to the Luna version, straight away it looks like the frames per second are up there with GeForce Now, if not slightly better. However, there does seem to be a slight haze to the image in general, but when we see that explosion we see much more detail than even on the GeForce Now side, and this smoke even gave a bit of detail effects there. We see those extra effects once again in those kind of fireworks section, though we did see a small stutter there on the Luna side. Again, the character models are looking pretty crisp. The Luna and GeForce Now are running those ultra settings, so we do expect a few extra details here. But Luna does seem to be holding those frames per second a bit more solid. As we look at the outer island here, we can see that Stadia does seem to be clearer on the environment overall there, with Luna having this bit of haze, but this could be the time of day weather effects. But the detail on the trees is definitely not as clear on the Luna side as it is on GeForce Now and Stadia. As we look at the hostage here, we're going to take them down on GeForce Now and Stadia. Again, we see that HDR effects much more in play on Stadia. However, you will be needing the Pro version to take advantage of the HDR. Again, Luna seems to have a bit more of a washed out feel to it. However, this could be the mist effects playing with the graphics. As we come up close to the character model here, it looks very clear on GeForce Now and Luna. Stadia still looking clear, but does seem to have slightly less detail on the character model itself. As we finish off going into the first stash area where we see the water drain, again seeing the breakboards effect here on all three. Stadia looking pretty on point here. Coloration does seem to be more vibrant on Stadia, however GeForce Now and Luna does seem to feel a bit more natural. And we can see in that movement that Luna definitely seems to have the best frames per second across the three here. If you do want to play Far Cry 5, it is free to play this weekend across pretty much all of the platforms. And if you want to purchase it outright, it's $20 on Stadia or $8 on platforms supported by GeForce Now. For Amazon Luna, you can only use the Ubisoft Plus, which is also available on Stadia and GeForce Now. However, if you want the 4K and HDR, you will also need Stadia Pro at an additional $10 a month. And for GeForce Now, if you want a session over 1 hour, then you will need the Priority Edition at $10 a month. So if you are going to be using Ubisoft Plus, the cheapest way to play, if you are in the US that is, would be on Amazon Luna, followed by Stadia. Let us know in the comments below if you are going to be playing Far Cry 5, and if you are, where you are going to be playing it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things cloud gaming, and we will see you next time.